Hi everyone, welcome. I can see a lot of people are joining. Let's just wait another few seconds for others to join. In the meantime, I've shared my screen. You should be able to see the intro slide there that has the title of this webinar, The Secret Revealed. Oh, okay, my team tells me we're ready to go, so thanks everyone for joining. I'm really glad you're here today. 2020 is the year for unparalleled clarity, so if you're ready for 2020 vision, you are in the right place. Hi, here I am. My name is Anita Scott. Thank you again for joining this webinar that covers content from my book, The Universe is Your Search Engine, a user's guide to the science of attraction. We're going to start with a little about me just so you understand where I'm coming from. I'm a transformation educator, and besides authoring The Universe is Your Search Engine, I've also published Greater Than Grateful, and I'm working on a third title. My career spans more than 30 years in education and leadership roles in corporate America, and I've led development workshops for more than 10 years. I also have an executive MBA from Pepperdine, and I've been humbled and honored to receive the Silicon Valley Business Journal's Women of Influence Award and the Still I Rise Phenomenal Women Award as well. Now, I say this seriously not to toot my own horn, but because it's taken all of these elements across all of those years to be in the position of cracking the code and unlocking the science behind the secret. Since time is precious, right out of the gate, let's validate that you're in the right place. Does any of this sound like you? Anytime you hear someone talking about the law of attraction, your eyes glaze over and you see images maybe of candles and incense, maybe even hippies or fairies or even witches. Or maybe you're skeptical because you're analytical and facts, research, and solid logic rules, so you'd never buy into anything without tangible substantiation. Well, then I'm your person. For anyone who's read all of the Law of Attraction books and watched all the films, including the 2007 documentary The Secret, but you still have no idea how exactly it works, you're absolutely in the right place. Now, just to level set, if you don't know how one of the most powerful laws of physics works at a literal level, you're in good company, because the truth of the matter is no one's ever explained precisely how thoughts transition into things, either on a literal level or a scientific level. Until now, and that's where I come in. After reading my book, Elijah Tribe founder Mr. Youngblood sent me an email stating not only was it life-changing, but he says he's read dozens of books on the topic, but not one combined the science in such a simple form. But why should you or anyone care or want to understand the science behind the law of attraction? I mean, does it really matter? Simply put, the law of attraction is responsible for delivering your quality of life. So yes, you want to understand it in order to leverage its power to live your best life. When you understand how this law of physics works in literal terms, then you're better equipped to leverage it to its full potential. Take understanding how anything works, like a brand new cell phone, for instance. You expect that it works, but if you don't understand how to turn it on, or right versus left swiping, or clicking one button versus clicking multiple buttons, then while the capabilities of that device are truly remarkable, without fully understanding how it works, you're unable to harness the full power of that functionality. You're actually wasting a lot of its potential. Wouldn't you agree? Well, the same holds true here, where not knowing how the law of attraction works makes it really difficult, if not impossible, to effectively leverage it. It's a missing piece of the puzzle, because once you do know how the law of attraction works, then you're set free to harness its power, whether that means a complete transformation or simply up-leveling a few aspects of your life. Here's our roadmap for today. By the end of this webinar, we'll have deciphered the science behind the universe's search engine, the law of attraction, and how thoughts transform into real life experiences. Now, life experiences are the things that happen in your day-to-day life that, when sewn all together, make up the quality of your life. At this point, I usually get asked 2 questions, so I'm going to make some room here to answer them. The first is, why did you write this book? I knew I had to write this book. When workshop after workshop attendees experienced such transformational improvements to their lives, I wanted to make this content available for everyone so they too could experience transformation. I am driven to help others improve their quality of life, and I know the information I provide is nothing short of life-changing, and it's so rewarding. A small but not inconsequential fact is my dad, you see there, Bill, was an engineer, and he secured several patents in Silicon Valley during his career. He was also an author. So when I was young, I would watch him write, and I always imagined that I would grow up and follow in his footsteps. So I just wanted to acknowledge him here for instilling that desire in me. One of my favorite quotes is, "Be the change that you want to see in the world," from Gandhi. Sharing transformational information through my books, digital courses, coaching, and workshops, with many offerings free or included, as you'll see towards the end of this webinar, is how I aim to accomplish that. It's my dare to change the world. The second question I get asked is, who are you to write this book? Well, my first response to any why question has always been, why not? So why not me? But more seriously, my whole life I've lived and worked in Silicon Valley, and as a center of innovation and science, you become deeply ingrained in how things work. On a more personal note, with regard to inborn traits, I've always been process-oriented. I take things far more literal than most people, and I'm exceedingly inquisitive. Here you see a picture of me in the 4th grade when we lived in that mobile home, and that's where my family began calling me the question machine. I've always asked so many questions because seeking clarity is just in my nature. Those are the atypical behaviors that turned out to be my greatest strengths. They gave me the ability to simplify the ambiguous and the complex. They've really served me well in putting the pieces together to decipher precisely how the law of attraction works, which is of huge importance to my passion for helping others succeed. Now, if you haven't already done so, be sure to join my Instagram at Anita M. Scott, or my LinkedIn or Facebook page, or you can visit me at my webpage at anitamscott.com. There you're going to find where I'm speaking next. You can get a hold of my books, schedule coaching, or take the powerful digital courses that I'm going to be speaking about more in a bit. You can go to any one of these now and add me or bookmark me so we don't lose touch. A final bit of housekeeping. I encourage you to turn off all distractions. Turn off your TV, your radio, or anything else that could be distracting because, let me tell you, if you stay present and focused, what you're going to learn today has the power to impact every aspect of your life. Now, this topic does require that we dig into a few scientific principles, and each component builds on the other. So if you miss a step, you may not fully understand the science, and that means you won't be able to fully apply it. So if you haven't already, go ahead, take a moment, and ensure there won't be any distractions. I'll use the time to share what a few more folks have said about the universe is your search engine and what you're about to discover. Dana Look Arimoto, best-selling author of Stop Settling, thanks me for simplifying the intangible and adds, understanding how the universe actually works and adopting these lessons will change readers' lives instantly. Valerie Morgnet, founder of Intelligent Story, said it has the power to awaken and uplift others, stating it's a practical approach and powerful. And Asami Yamada Samples calls my book her Bible, stating it changed the way she sees everything, and then everything changed. I can't overstate how absolutely life-changing and revolutionary this information is. Sue craved more joy in her life, so she signed up for the 6-week Level 2 Mastery course, and within just 4 weeks, she sent this email to thank me. She shared how the program was making a serious difference in her life. Her perspectives and programming shifted, so she was seeing things in a different way and therefore reacting differently. At just over halfway through, the program was so transformational for her, she registered her daughter to take the course. As intended, this digital course propelled Sue further faster. So in only 4 weeks, she was well on her way to living her best life. Be sure to stay with me to the end when I share more details about that course and a promo offer for joining this webcast. I'll also share a direct link to these slides. Now, I shared Sue's success with you to validate that what we're about to cover can make a really big difference in your life too. The law of attraction is a physics law, like gravity. It isn't going anywhere, so it's in your best interest to understand how it works so you can better manage it to return more positive experiences. Okay, we're about to dive in. I'm so excited about bringing this information to you. Are you ready to start your evolutionary journey? To get started, let's make sure you're familiar with what a search engine is, just to be sure we're all on the same page. A search engine is a computer software that allows internet users to search for content online. A user enters keywords or phrases, and the search engine picks up, searches for, and returns matches in the form of content. Examples of search engines are Yahoo, Bing, and Google. Now, consider this. What if the universe had a search engine that functioned like Google, except it used your thoughts in place of keywords? And instead of content, the universe's search engine returned real-life experiences, like love in the form of a more connected marriage, or a better relationship with your child, or health and wealth, and absolutely anything you desired, including material things. If a technology like this existed, would you be interested in learning how it worked? A better question is, would you want to learn how to harness its power to return the life of your dreams, whatever that might look like for you? If you're expecting a big ta-da, thanks to technology advances, this is now possible, that's not my message. Wah, wah. My message, firmly rooted in science, is this technology has been available since the beginning of time. It's fascinating to think that you've been using it your entire lifetime. And as a matter of fact, it's responsible for the life you have today. To see what the universe's search engines returned, take a look around. Likely you have a loving family, a career, a comfortable home, and so on. This technology isn't a secret. It's science. The message I'm delivering to you today is the universe is your search engine, using thoughts instead of keywords and returning experiences in place of content. My work bridges the divide between how search engines mirror what I've uncovered as the universe's search engine. Learning has been a journey, and it's taken us a long time to put the pieces together. I think back to Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. That was published back in 1937. There's also Louise Hay, Esther and Jerry Hicks, Dr. Wayne Dyer, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and many authors, and there's been many films, including The Secret. All of these authors and works did a great job kicking off the discussion on our journey to expanded consciousness, and we have been really fortunate to be exposed to their leading-edge content. My work picks up where they left off to usher in the next era of evolution by deciphering through science precisely and simply how the universe's search engine transitions thoughts into real-life experiences. Now, in case you've been multitasking, you want to come back now as we're at the heart of the discussion. For simplicity's sake, I'm going to explain the two components at play with the law of attraction individually. And then once we have that framework built, then we'll put them together and showcase exactly how thoughts transition into experiences. Starting here with the first component, the universe's search engine is the electromagnetic spectrum, or what we call the frequency highway. It's the conduit that brings together matching frequencies, and this highway is available across the entire planet. The frequency highway is what enables all wireless technology to work by picking up signals or frequencies and carrying them in search of a frequency match. When a match is found, an experience is returned. Take, for instance, your radio. With no wires attached, you could hear music. And by tuning into different frequencies or by changing lanes, you have a multitude of listening options. There are infinite lanes on the frequency highway. You can think of it as a superhighway where each lane carries a particular frequency to a distinct destination. There are lanes that enable keyless entry into cars, other lanes for channels on televisions, others for texting, video doorbells, cell phones, and thousands more. Once the chosen frequency arrives at the matching frequency destination, an experience is returned. For example, take your garage remote. When clicked, the remote emits a signal that the frequency highway picks up in search of a frequency match. When a match is found in your garage door opener, an experience occurs in the form of your garage door opening. That same remote doesn't open your neighbor's garage, doesn't turn your TV on or off, because there isn't a frequency match. There has to be a frequency match between both for an experience to occur. Maybe you're wondering just how this relates to the law of attraction? Well, the law of attraction is the magnetic power of the universe that draws similar energies together. Let's look at the frequency highway and the law of attraction side by side. Are you noticing that the frequency highway brings together matching frequencies and the law of attraction draws together similar energies? Here's where we've cracked the code because, in actuality, the frequency highway and the law of attraction are one and the same. It's just a matter of differing semantics. Both function as the universe's search engine by picking up, searching for, and returning frequency matches in the form of life experiences. Now, let's turn our attention to the second component, which is figuring out how thoughts replace keywords. First, we need to understand a few scientific terms and definitions, starting with matter. Everything with a physical substance is called matter, which includes tables, chairs, plants, and you. The basic building blocks of matter are atoms. As you see here, atoms are made up of pure energy in the form of subatomic particles that constantly explode with energy, creating vibrations. Those vibrations produce a constant state of motion, which produces electromagnetic waves that continually emit information outwards, away from the matter, similar to how a pebble dropped into water creates ripples that cascade outwards. Again, these scientific principles apply to all matter, inanimate or not, so let's apply them to you. This is exciting stuff, so get ready. Each thought you have fires neurons, and those firing neurons produce electromagnetic waves that emit information outwards, just like matter. The difference is, the electromagnetic waves produced by firing neurons have varying frequencies according to what you're thinking about. Positive thoughts produce higher frequencies. You can see it there in the picture. The waves are closer together. And negative thoughts produce lower frequencies, and the waves are spread further apart. Okay, we're going to pause here because I want to make sure you're still with me. I just want to do a sanity check because I know that was a lot of information coming at you in a short period of time. I really want you to get this because the power of it can be so transformational. So let's go ahead and do a brief recap before we move forward. For the first component, we learned how the frequency highway and law of attraction are one and the same, functioning as the universe's search engine by picking up frequencies or energies, choose your semantics, searching for and returning matches in the form of real-life experiences, like the example I used of opening your garage door. For the second component, we learned how thoughts replace keywords through electromagnetic waves emitted by firing neurons, and how those emissions vary according to what you're thinking about, with positive thoughts producing high frequencies and negative thoughts emitting low frequencies. Now that we have this foundation in place, let's combine them and play with a few examples that'll showcase the relevancy to your life, so you can begin applying this information as soon as today. For the first example, let's say you're thinking about wealth in the form of sitting down to pay your bills. And as you do, you're thinking about how wonderful it is that you have plenty of money to pay all your bills. The universe's search engine picks up those thoughts as emitted frequencies from firing neurons, searches for a frequency match to wealth, and returns a matching frequency life experience in the form of a raise. For the next example, well, let's actually stay with the same example, but let's take the opposite polarity and say you're thinking about lack in the form of also sitting down to pay your bills. But in this scenario, you're thinking about how awful it is that you never have enough money to pay your bills. The universe's search engine picks up your emitted thoughts, searches for a frequency match to lack, and returns an experience in the form of your rent increasing. It's important to note that in either example, the universe's search engine returned matches to what you searched for. Now, of course, no one intentionally searches for their rent to increase, but what tends to happen there is instead of focusing on what you want, you're focusing on the absence of it, which is a completely different frequency. For instance, I want to be wealthy is the frequency of wealth and focuses on what you do want. On the other hand, I don't want to be broke is the frequency of lack and focuses on what you don't want. Besides focusing on what you want instead of the absence of it, there's a lot you can do to harness the power of the universe's search engine. I'll share one more example. If there's something you've been wishing for or wanting for a really long time, maybe a new home, a mate, family, job, car, getting healthy, or something else, but it hasn't shown up yet, it's likely you're stuck in a groove. Literally, where repetitive thoughts over time have created deep grooves, reshaping your brain, causing you to continually think the same thoughts over and over again to the tune of 90% of your thoughts being the same ones you had yesterday, according to Dr. Joe Dispenza. Those repetitive thoughts emit outwards, and the universe's search engine, always at the ready, picking up all of your emissions, returns 90% of the same experiences as the day before, giving the appearance that nothing's changing. Now, everyone has a story, and everyone's story is different and valued. I'm about to share some of mine, but don't worry, it all turns out well. As it relates to being stuck, I'm the poster child for being stuck, because I spent half my life waiting to die. Yeah, that's me when I was 7 and when my family changed religions. When they did, it brought with it a belief that the world was going to end, first in 1975, then in 1978, and thereafter the end was imminent. All the wicked people would be destroyed, and while I didn't believe I was wicked, I didn't know if I was good enough. I did have a strong sense that I wasn't better than anyone else, so my expectation was I'd die when Armageddon came. Fast forward 2 decades, and I'm a divorced, single mom with no college and a dead-end job, earning a meager wage. Each night I'd come home exhausted, so I'd lie on my couch while my son played outside. There were a lot of nights that I wished for more for us, but there was one night in particular that it finally occurred to me that I was still alive, and that made me ask some what-if questions like, what if I get to live for another year? What if the world isn't going to end? And I also asked, what if my life is a gift? Asking those what if questions dissolved that pattern of thought. And that changed everything. Since that time, I've earned 3 degrees. I've been happily married for more than 20 years and have a beautiful family and home. Since asking those what-if questions, I've used the power of my thoughts to control what the universe's search engine returned in order to live my very best life. Besides focusing on what you want instead of the absence of it, and identifying and dissolving beliefs holding you back, get clear about what makes you happy and what your dream life would look like. Because when you know that, then you're able to spend time thinking about it, so you're emitting frequencies that match the frequencies of your desires. And that's how you too can control what the universe's search engine returns. The universe's search engine uses your thoughts instead of keywords and returns real-life experiences instead of content. So that happiness and joy can be yours. This is law. That's why they call it the law of physics, because it can be no other way. This is the way the universe is designed to work. Since you now understand how that is, the biggest takeaway is understanding that you have the power to control what the universe's search engine returns in order to live your best life. Clarity breeds success, and in this case, it's liberating because you're no longer at the whim of whatever comes your way. This information will serve you well as you move forward in your life. I hope you're as excited about learning these amazing principles as I am about sharing them with you. You're leaps and bounds ahead of where you were before this webinar. And for you, the law of attraction is no longer a secret. Actively harnessing the power of your thoughts to better manage what the universe's search engine returns is a completely new way of thinking. It's an evolved way of thinking. So yay you for taking the time to join me today and learning these important principles. It's also occurring to you and making sense now that you've always had the power to control the life experiences that are returned to you. So I have a question. Do you think you can successfully harness the power of the universe's search engine going forward to return your best life? Don't worry. For starters, my book will help you with that. If you liked what I gave you for free today and found this information helpful and interesting, then you're going to find the book fascinating, and you're going to love the digital courses that get you further, faster in harnessing the power of the universe's search engine to improve your life. As a user's guide, the included workbook contains 8 exercises that support principle application, plus a bonus exercise, and there are 4 online challenges that reinforce concepts and build muscle memory. The workbook's intentionally designed to expedite your ability to harness the power of the universe's search engine. You can purchase your copy at these locations online. The soft cover is $14.99 plus shipping and handling, and the ebook is just $3.99. With the purchase of the book, you get the Level 1 Discovery Digital course for free. This isn't the biggest or best offer, there's more. But when you register, you gain access to the free Evolve quiz. That's an anonymous 25-question multiple-choice quiz that assesses your understanding of universal principles across science, physics, and metaphysics. It's a helpful tool that highlights opportunity areas where additional clarity may be needed in order to grasp all of the principles at play in your life. To obtain this offering, go to anitamscott.com/course and click on the register button under the Level 1 offering. Now I have one last question for you. Can you do this? Because here's the thing. Knowing is one thing, but applying it is another thing entirely. I know, and you know, and Dr. Joe Dispenza knows that change is hard. When 90% of the thoughts you had yesterday are the same thoughts you're having today, we're talking about changing those warning grooves up that have kept you stuck. It's just not enough to simply say, I'm going to change that up. If you want to expedite your evolution and improve your circumstances, you need a systematic approach. And that's exactly why I developed the Level 2 Evolve Master course I mentioned earlier. It gets you further faster in comprehension, application, and importantly, results. So for those who want to gain mastery of the universe's search engine so they can begin experiencing improvement sooner rather than later, this course is the vehicle that does just that. This course puts you in the driver's seat as a deliberate creator within 6 weeks. The course curriculum, plan, and tools give you the confidence to apply the principles and expect improvements to any area of your life. Here's what the Level 2 Mastery course looks like. Besides the book, exercises, challenges, and access to the Evolve quiz, with my step-by-step 6-week program, you also receive access to 8 videos across 5 modules. Each week you receive emails from me and access to a lot of downloads like the schedule and checklist among other materials that support the activities that facilitate rapid transformation and improvements. You also have access to me through emails in the comments section within the program, and I'm there cheerleading you on the whole way through. With regard to number 1 that you see there, one focus area, here are the focus areas to choose from across health, joy, purpose, relationships, self-love, and wealth. It's best to choose an area that's historically caused the most discomfort or struggle, because likely that's where friction and negative programming are, so focusing there loosens that up. The reason you choose and focus on only one area is so the program is as powerful as possible. Think espresso versus decaf coffee. The main thing is to keep the main thing, if you've ever heard that before. Because you want to get the full strength of the program for the full strength of the return. We don't want to water it down. So in order to get you further faster, we need to start with one area of application while you get your sea legs about you, so to speak, in thinking in a whole new way. Let me ask you, what area in your life would you want to improve? If you could change anything about your life, what would that be? Let me assure you, when you take the Level 2 digital course, it's possible to harness the power of the universe's search engine to return happiness and dramatic improvements in that and all areas. Here's another email I received from Leah, who took the Level 2 Mastery course and chose to focus on wealth, specifically monetary. She sent me this email at 4 weeks in. You can read through it, but in short, by following my program, she received over $11,000 with 2 weeks still to go. Notice at the end there, she mentions how the programs helped her shift her thinking. These shifts didn't happen by accident, and they don't happen by accident. Taking the Level 2 digital course gathers and builds momentum week over week and evolves you. It evolves who you are, how you see yourself, and how you see the world. It's just like Ms. Yamada said earlier, the book and course change the way you see everything, and then everything changes. This Level 2 digital course is carefully designed for the express purpose of moving you into more success and happiness quickly by identifying and dissolving beliefs holding you back. It forms new neural pathways that serve you better by making significant shifts to perspectives that are keeping you stuck, by evolving and expanding your thinking, and building muscle memory that facilitates sustainable and exponential improvements. The better it gets, truly. Like hundreds of others taking this course, you can also experience more happiness, clarity, and success, and that's going to bleed into all other areas of your life. This program includes everything you see here and is valued at $1,197. But for those taking their valuable time to join me today, I know you're serious about growing and improving your circumstances. So I'm giving you a steep discount. Instead of paying over $1,000, which the program is well worth, you get everything you see here and more for only $597. And for staying with me to the end, I'm adding in one more thing. Access to the Level 2 Mastery course for an entire year. What that means is you could retake the program for each focus area if you wanted to. At $1,197, that's an incredible offering. But at $597, it's an affordable price that will pay off in dividends as you see and experience transformational and sustainable improvements across all facets of your life. To get where you want to go, you can't continue doing the same things because those are the things that got you here, where you are. It was Albert Einstein who said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. If you're ready to change things up and take destiny into your own hands to live your best life, the Level 2 Evolve Master Course is for you. We know this course works when you take the program and do the work. Here's the link to register to the Level 2 course. There's a special page you'll need to access for this deal, so take note of it here. It's anitamscott.com/course-special. This page is password protected since it's a promotional offer, and the password is growth, all lowercase. For the next 48 hours, you'll have access to this offer. Yes, I know that's a 50% discount, which is unheard of for digital courses, but I'm not crazy. I'm just sincere in wanting things to get better for you and for your circumstances to improve in what matters most to you sooner rather than later. And I know my program will do just that. Maybe in return, you could send me a note sharing how wonderful things are turning out for you too, because I never get tired of receiving those emails. Now, this offer does expire in 48 hours, so please don't hesitate in stalling, getting serious about changing things up and improving your life situation. There's not another book or program that's as much as a game changer as mine, and that gives you access to the instructor too. Ask yourself, if not now, when? Before signing off, I promised to give you access to the deck. So go to the same link I provided for the Level 2 course offering, anitamscott.com/course-special. You'll see a button to download the secret revealed deck. Note the case-sensitive password, growth. I hope you enjoyed what I shared with you today, and more importantly, I hope it's already begun to help you think differently. In closing, thank you sincerely for your time, your attention, and your interest in this fascinating subject. I'm leaving you with a final reminder that the universe is your search engine, using thoughts instead of keywords and returning real-life experiences instead of content. Thanks again. Happy searching!